Hey, how's it going, guys? So today I'm going to make a special guest appearance here on my Facebook page because normally I do my podcast lives over on my Sexy Confident Life page, but today is the 50th episode, so I'm gonna kick it off live here in this Facebook group. The Facebook group that I started years ago, and I know that many of you hang out over here, so I'm excited to kick this off. Let me just make sure I'm all set up. Hello. Hopefully I'll see some of you guys on live. This will be really fun. All right. Hey. Welcome to episode number 50 of the Sexy Confident Life. I am so excited to be here live on my Facebook page today, where I usually film this over on Sexy Confident Life page. But if you guys have not seen any of my live podcasts, I'm glad that you're here and I hope that you'll tune in. Because today I wanted to celebrate 50 episodes of A Sexy Confident Life. And you know that I'm so passionate about helping more women really truly design a lifestyle that brings them more energy, more self-love, more confidence, and truly the lifestyle, whether it's financial or just the peace of mind or quality of relationships, but all the things that truly make up our lifestyle, living that by design and loving that lifestyle. That's what I'm passionate about. And so all of my episodes are based around truly helping you figure out, all right, how can I overcome certain things that are holding me back? How can I elevate how I feel on a daily basis? How can I get my mind right so that every day I'm thinking better and I'm feeling better and I'm not getting sucked into the vortex of negativity that can sometimes happen in life, yeah? Today is about overwhelm. And I love talking about overwhelm because we all feel it. We all have it. It's not like somebody isn't going through life and never feeling overwhelmed. That's not reality, right? And so today I thought, I have this conversation a lot with my friends. I have this conversation all the time, even with strangers who are like, take a deep breath. Oh my God, it's been one hell of a week, right? I've got so much going on. There's so much to do. And I think it's really one of those conversations that are easy to have with just about anybody, because no matter who you talk to, they're busy. It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter who they are, what their role is in life. Everybody's busy. There's not enough freaking time in the day. Can I get an amen? Yeah. And so it's easy to have the conversation of overwhelm. It's easy for everybody to start going down to that bitch fest, right? Everyone's like, oh yeah, I'm so busy. I'm so overwhelmed. I'm so stressed out. And I don't want to downplay it because it's a reality. I get it too. And I bitch about it too. It's okay. But there's a difference between feeling like overwhelmed for a few hours and feeling overwhelmed for a week or 2 weeks or every day of your life. I know some people that every single time I talk to them, they're stressed, they're overwhelmed, they can't get it together, they just cannot do enough. They feel like the world is just spinning out of control. And that is not okay. That's not living a sexy, confident life. That's living a very rugged, it's living a very, kind of like, if you want to say, unsatisfactory life. And I don't really want anybody to go through life just feeling so overwhelmed that they don't get to enjoy the moment to moment joys that they're missing because they're consumed mentally and physically by everything they've got to do. And a few episodes ago, I talked about people pleaser syndrome. And if you didn't listen to that one, please go back and listen to that one. But today is not about being a people pleaser. Being overwhelmed has a little bit to do with that. Maybe you're taking on too much. So go back to the people pleaser one and listen to why it's important to not overcommit, to set boundaries for yourself, to decide what you need and then give the rest to others, right? Not always putting everyone else before yourself is so important. But when it comes to overwhelm, I think it's important because there's 3 steps that I always take myself. And this is the advice that I always give to my friends in not so many words, right? Because I want to talk to my friends not like a coach. I want to talk to them like a friend. Otherwise, they're not going to be friends with me anymore. They're going to be like, listen, Anna, I don't need to be coached by you every time I hang out with you, right? So I don't want my friends or my family to feel like they're being coached by me. So in not so many words, I walk them down this framework that really truly helps me personally get over the feeling of overwhelm. And it also helps a lot of my clients who I work with in high performance coaching get over that feeling of overwhelm. And here are the 3 steps, okay? So walk with me through this, if you will. Think about where you are in your life right now. Maybe you're not overwhelmed. Good on you, sister. I hope you're not. But if you are, I want you to think about that feeling you have right now. Because at the end of this podcast, you're going to have a strategy, okay? And you're going to walk yourself through this framework, and you're not going to feel like there's no end to this situation. Like there's no brighter sunshine at the end of the rainbow. Because I know that a lot of people feel like it's never going to end. Am I just always going to feel like this? No, you're not. Because I highly encourage you to take ownership right now, because in step 1, I always express that it's time to take a deep breath and to take control. Overwhelm is a mindset, and it's your decision. This is when I get tough love on people, and I get tough love on myself, because if you think about it right now, you might have a lot on your plate. You might have a lot going on. But the feeling of overwhelm, that feeling of, oh my God, I've got so much going on. I've got so much to do. Blah, 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 blah. It's all you. You're doing that to yourself. And so it's time to take a deep breath in step 1. And it's time to say, you know what? I'm going to take control of this situation. I'm going to take control of my life. I'm going to take control of my to-dos and all of the obligations that I have, and I'm going to start to figure it out so that I don't have this feeling of overwhelm, this feeling of sickness, of stress, right? It's a mindset. So number 1, it's really important to take that ownership and to take control and say, I'm going to do this. Yep, I just decided. You can do that. You can just decide that you're going to take ownership and do it. And say, I'm not going to be overwhelmed anymore. I'm just not going to do it, because it's my decision. And it's my decision to also feel the way I want to feel. So it's really important, guys, in step 1, that you do decide that you don't want to feel overwhelmed anymore, that you're not going to use that word anymore. I always say you can either be the victim or the victor in your life. You can be the victim or the victor in your life. And the reason that I say that is because we decide how we're going to feel about situations, how we're going to respond to things in our life, how we're going to allow them to affect us, and how we're going to then transition that into what we do, right? And so you can be the victor in your life. You can say, I'm taking control, baby. And this is what I do when I'm feeling overwhelmed. I'm like, I'm not going to be overwhelmed. I'm taking control. Because the second thing that I want you to do in this 3-step plan, my baby friend, is to set up a game plan. Game plan! Because guaranteed, people that feel overwhelmed all the time don't have one. And they haven't decided to take control because they're just letting things happen to them. They're letting their lives spin out of control, and they haven't yet decided they don't want to feel that way, and they're not going to feel that way because they absolutely have control over what happens in their life and how they feel about it. We all do. As hard as that is to hear for some people, because I know that there's a lot of people in the world suffering. There's a lot of people going through a lot of shit. And I know it's not easy to change your mindset and say, I can respond differently about this. I can feel differently about this. And that's not easy to do. But then again, there's a lot of people that are playing the victim. They're just letting life happen to them. And they're not sitting back and saying, nope, I'm going to take control and I'm going to set up a game plan here. Because overwhelm is usually just too much. You're thinking about too much. You're doing too much. And you have no organized way of getting things actually done. This is what happens. No organized way of getting things done. Overwhelm happens when you take on one thing, you work on it a little bit, and then you take on another thing, and you work on it a little bit, and you take on another thing, and another thing, and another thing, and another thing, and you haven't actually gotten anything really done. You've not crossed it off your list, not thinking about it, moving on, people. That's when it's a problem. And so having a game plan so that you get your priorities straight is so important, my friends. And I know that most of us that go through life not really thinking, what's my strategy on a day-to-day basis for getting things actually done? You've never really attempted this. This is a high-performance habit right here. I'm giving you some crazy coaching for free today. So listen in. The first thing I do is I always know what my priorities are. Always. I know what's most important for me to do. And I think that if you don't have those written down somewhere, then start that list. What is the most important thing that you need to do today? Today, not tomorrow, not this week, today. I know what my priorities are in that day. Overall in life, I also know what my priorities are. I know that my health, my marriage, my business right now are my priorities. And everything else gets to take a back seat if I'm too busy with those other things. Do you know overall in your life what your priorities are? And that everything else can take a wait. They can take a ticket, get in the back of the line and wait until you're ready type of thing. Yes? But do you know on a day-to-day basis what your priorities are? What you gotta get done today, my friend. That's very important. Because if you don't have things written down that you're I gotta get this done today or else, then that day you might lay your head down on the pillow and be I didn't get anything done. But if you got your priorities done, you'll feel good. You'll be okay, I did the things I needed to do, that I absolutely needed to do. The other thing I want you to think about when you're setting up a game plan and you're getting yourself on track, because you know what? The game plan is more than just a day-to-day plan. It's a big picture plan. And it's how you implement that big picture plan. So the second thing I want you to think about when setting up a game plan is never have more than 3 big projects on your plate at once. No more than 3. And projects are big. Projects are things that might take 2, 3, 6 months to complete. And you've got to know what those 3 projects are, right? It's really important. I've got my sheet right here. I'll tell you, I got 3 projects. One of them is to optimize my 3 steps to unstoppable program so that more people see it, more people jump into that course, and more people use it. That is one of my big projects. And it's going to take time because I need to reshoot a video. I need to create 4 or 5 emails that are going to go out to people. I need to make sure that that sales page looks good so people understand what it is. There's all these tasks below that project. That's a big project. Another one is my prenatal program in my membership club. I have to get that done. I've got workouts that I've got to film. I've got workouts I still have to write. I've got some research I still need to do. I'm curating some content for that. Then I've got to upload it into I've got all these tasks, but it's prenatal program. That's a huge project. That's not just something I'm going to get done in a weekend, right? And my other one is more of a business consulting course that I'm creating. And that is a very big project, okay? So listen, projects are big, But then you've got all the tasks that you're gonna have to do, and I map those out. I know what those are, but I'm not gonna get my projects done tomorrow. I know that it's gonna take me some time, but the third thing in this game plan strategy is how you get things done. So not only do I make sure I've got my priorities for the day, today I had to film a podcast. I knew that was a priority for me. If I don't get it done, I lay my head down on the pillow and I'm like, oh, I didn't get anything done. You've got to have your priorities. But then if you've got your 3 big projects, you have to have on your calendar block time. Block time, it's the best word ever, ever, ever that came into my life. Brendan Burchard shared it with me in High Performance, and I share it with my high performance students. They'll tell you, they'll comment, they'll tell you. If they didn't learn about block time, they wouldn't be getting stuff done either, which means they'd feel overwhelmed too. But to be organized and to make progress on these projects that I have down here, to make progress, I've got to block specific time throughout the week that I'm going to work on that project. I might not work on all 3 projects in one day. Sometimes that's not a reality, and I'm okay with it because my priorities are things that I work on really, really initially in the day. Hopefully in the first 90 minutes of my day. But if not, I block a certain amount of time to get those things done. Other projects I know I'm blocking time for at least each week, right? So in your calendar of things that you got going on, when are you actually blocking an hour to work on one thing? Not 7 things, not Facebook and TV and the kids while you're cooking. That's not block time. That's not productivity. That's crazy. That's just life. If you want to get projects completed, like maybe you got to clean your closet. Maybe the garage needs reorganizing. Maybe you've got bills stacked up and you've been meaning to log them in. Maybe your accountant is you and you're the bookkeeper and you got to do that stuff yourself. Maybe you've got a book you've been wanting to read and you haven't yet. Maybe you have been wanting to plant a garden and you haven't yet. You've got these things on your mind, these projects that you've been wanting to complete. You've started or you haven't even started. And it's really difficult for you because everything else is happening. There's never gonna be enough time, my friends. Can we agree on that? There will never be all this extra time on your hands to just freely do everything you want to do. I'm sorry, but it's not possible, right? Not in this world today. There's so much distraction. There's so many obligations that we have. There's so much going on. So the only way to really get projects done or to get things done that matter to the progression of our life, whether it's personal or professional, the only way to complete those things is to block out time in our calendar to focus on working on them. And so in my calendar, I've got a block time where it's like, boom, working on the prenatal program. Tuesday from 2 to 4. Tuesday from 2 to 4, I was working on that bad boy. That is called block time. And I know that if that's the only time during the week I get to work on it, so be it. But I move the needle because 2 hours of time, if you're focused solely on one thing, is gonna do some damage. It's gonna help you. It's gonna progress things. Absolutely, right? So that's first steps. First, take control. Second step, set up a game plan. And I just gave you a million different ways to set that game plan up. And then the third step is to accept that what you do is good enough for you. Now, I truly believe that we are always going to be our biggest critic. We are always going to set the expectations higher for ourselves than other people set for us, right? And so a lot of times overwhelm can come from never just accepting that everything that we do, all the effort and time and energy that we've put into our day, that we've put into things, that we've put into projects, that we've put out there in the world isn't good enough. We've got to accept that, yes, that was good enough for me. I did what I could do today. And I'm going to rest my head and I'm going to say, good freaking job today. Even if my projects are not done, even if I didn't get all my priorities in, I'm going to still say all day, I had a game plan. I worked the plan. I did what I could do. I'm okay because that's good enough. If we don't accept that what we're doing is enough, we'll never feel satisfied. That is also a mindset. That is also on us. That is our decision. It's our decision to feel satisfied at the end of the day, and it's our decision to not feel satisfied. You choose. You truly decide, am I going to be okay with the way things were today? Am I going to be okay with the output that I gave today? If not, that's on you. That's it. But I choose to be okay with myself. I choose to say, output was good for me. That was good work. Good job. Give myself a pat on the back. Boom. Do you give yourself a pat on the back? Ever? I hope so. That's so important because otherwise things keep stacking. Life keeps going. Life keeps getting busier and busier. Life is always going to be challenging us with the next thing. We finish one thing, the next thing comes, right? There's never a time when we'll be bored. Not really. And if there is, then I'm sure we can always find some way to abide our time and to find things to fill our time, right? So today I really want you guys to embrace this concept and to know that overwhelm is a frame of mind. It is something that we are doing to ourselves by not taking control, by having no game plan or strategy to implement that game plan, and truly no acceptance for being good enough for the output that we give all day. I think if we can reverse those, flip it, and take control, and have a game plan and strategies to implement it and accept that at the end of the day, what we gave was enough. Overwhelm will go bye-bye. It will be existent maybe a couple hours here and there. You will feel it and then you will breathe it out. You'll feel it come in and you'll be able to breathe it right away because you've got a game plan. You've got a strategy and a mental toughness that says, I will not be a victim. I will be a victor of this life. I hope you guys will take this all to heart and know that this is one of my absolute go-to game plan strategies for overcoming and eliminating the overwhelm. And I hope you'll use it because I truly care about you feeling joyful, happy, fulfilled, stress-free in your life. All right? Hope you enjoyed today's episode and I will see you next time. Peace out, guys.